JC.
Hi, Jerry.
Nice to meet you.
Andrew.
First time. Hi. Well, you can't blow your trumpet on a day like this. I don't know when you can. So, manager of the month, 4 wins in 4, going great guns, conceded 1 goal. Where's it all going right?
Thank you. It's really nice feeling. But again, I've got to say a huge thank you to everyone that helps support. Everyone knows now it's not manager of the month. It's team, and got an amazing group of staff. A really good group of players that have all come together and worked really hard to have a good start. I'm well aware it's only a good start, but it's great to have that, and we want to try and build on it and keep it going. But it's down to the hard work of everyone pulling together. It's a real collective team effort.
I know there are managers and coaches that don't like being given stats that go back years and years, but it would be 5 wins in 5 at the start of the season would be a club record. Is that in your mind, or are you trying to keep the players?
No, I wasn't aware of that until about 5 minutes ago. So it's not been on my mind. It also shows how difficult that is to do. So we're under no illusions as to how difficult the game is tomorrow. Anyway, never mind trying to win 5 games in a row. Going to Preston is always a difficult game anyway. So our job is, the boring bit now is to just do the basics well, keep working extremely hard, trying to carry out the plan. And go and perform well, and then hopefully that's enough to win a game. But it's another really difficult one.
Another of the stats I'm sure people have thrown at you is that it's very hard for Borough seemingly to beat Preston at Deepdale for years upon year. I'm guessing that people may have mentioned that.
No, there had to be something negative, didn't there? Again, it's a really difficult place to go. Hecky's a really good manager. They've had a very good start. Look at the teams they've beaten at home already as well this season. They've beaten Ipswich and Leicester, who are teams that they're going to be up there at the end of the season. So they'll be confident. So it'll be a really good occasion tomorrow. We're taking obviously 5,600 people, which will be incredible. So big thank you to our supporters, and they'll be making it a special, especially loud. And so will their fans as well. So I think it'll be a really good game, really good occasion, great atmosphere, and hopefully we can come out on top.
Is there any one aspect of how your game will have to be tomorrow that you haven't played in these first 4 games?
Yeah, interesting question. I think that they've scored some really good counter-attacking goals, fast attacks, been very ruthless. They've got a couple of strikers that they will look for very quickly. So again, involved in those fast attacks, they've got 2 really effective strikers that are good, they're physical, they're quick, but they can play off them and with them. Some real speed in transition. They're very, very strong in set piece situations as well, and they can play as well. If you allow them and we don't get our pressure right, then they're a team that can play. So they've got lots of strong attributes to them. That's why they've had a good start. So yeah, we're going to have to really be focused when we have the ball in transitional moments. We've got to be aware of their really aggressive pressing, and try not to give them the game they want. But that's always the answer. That's what we try to do with every team that we're coming up against.
To get back to positives then, obviously the fans are riding this wave. You will say it's early days, but is there one thing that's really surprised you about the way the lads have gone about their business in those first few?
No, not at all. No. Since from day one, they've shown a brilliant attitude and an appetite to take on board a little bit of what we want to try and introduce. But it's been a case with us coming in again, trying to show some humility that we don't know it all. You do some really good things already. Let's try and keep that going, and then try and improve in a few little areas. And that's how I try and go about things. And the lads have been great, And it's down to them. They're the ones that go over the white line, so we can try and provide a really good plan and obviously try and get the training right and we'll hopefully get the food right and the travel right and the medical bits and all that stuff around them. But they're the ones that go and do it. They're the ones that have done it so far, and hopefully they can continue that.
Good luck from me.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, it's Daz from the Red. Congratulations on the manager of the month. Do you see it as a curse? Obviously, it's a positive thing.
No, look, of course it's a positive thing, and again, it's big recognition for all of the hard work. But I know what you're getting at. Let's see what it brings tomorrow. But we haven't thought about it being that way, no.
Now, international breaks come thick and fast. Did this one come at a good time for the Borough?
was the situation. Look, it had been great whilst we still got momentum, you know what I mean. But we were in a good moment, and we still are in a good moment. We've got to make sure after tomorrow we're still in a good moment. That's it. But it is what it is. Those are the fixtures, and that's it. So nothing that we could change. Just deal with it.
Yeah. And with so many new players coming into the side, has that break allowed you to embed some of those players, get to know some of those players, and for those players to get to know each other?
Yeah, definitely. And there has been a lot of change in the group, and towards the back end of the window, there was obviously more and more arrivals coming in. So it has allowed for that. We had a good group of lads that were able to train together during the break, not too many away, which was helpful for us. So in that respect, yeah, big help.
We saw yesterday Craig Hignett presenting the legacy numbers to the new players. How important is it for you that this squad understand how important it is to play for this club?
Yeah, I think that's what we were trying to get across, and we're trying to build. And I think the lads do. I think they get it. You know, we've still got some boys here that have come through from the academy, from the area, and understand it and get it. But I think our job is to try and bring the players together, bring the group together, find a sense of belonging, something that we're all aiming for together, and that's what we're trying to do, and that can take some time. So things like that help to bring someone who is so fondly thought of by the football club, by our supporters, who really gets it and understands and knows what it means for him to be able to speak. I can't get into Craig's brain and say that. It's got to be someone like him. So I think I really liked that, and I think it'll be a nice one for us to build on.
Just looking forward to Preston. Obviously, we've talked about the record there. Have you got a full squad to select from for the game tomorrow?
We're doing all right. We've got a couple back. We also had a little bit of a sickness bug in the camp, which isn't not disrupting things massively, but just So we're dealing with that. So we'll see. But we're in a good spot.
Any update on Riley? I know we've mentioned him a few times.
Riley's doing really well. He's not available yet, but he's progressing well. Like I said, it's with him. And I know I'm repeating the same sort of message. It's just so important to him and to all of us that then when he's back, he stays back. So he's been working incredibly hard with the staff to make sure that he's building up a resilience and a strength to be able to repeat and run and hopefully, you know, when he's out there, go and do it, and then go and be him, because he's a really good player. So none of us want him missing for the long term, but what none of us want either is him coming back and then breaking down again. So let's we're not going to rush it, and obviously whilst at the moment we've got good numbers in that sort of area as well, we haven't got to force the issue a little bit. We can really take our time on it and get it right.
And how was the international break for you? Did you get some downtime, some family time, because it's been a bit of a whirlwind for you?
Yeah, it was great. The Monday was busy on the deadline day, and I was up here, and then it was nice. I was able to get the Tuesday and Wednesday, and have a couple of days with the family. My little boy started senior school, so it was nice to see him off and doing that. And I was able to get the Saturday, Sunday, the weekend off as well in the middle. So yeah, it was nice. A few days off, bit of family time, which was great. Get a bit of energy back. And refresh and get ready to go.
And here you go again, another tough run of games. A lot of the pundits sort of wrote Borough off at the start of the season, saying it was one of the most difficult starts for any team, and you've rode that wave and you surprised everybody. Now more eyes are on the Borough in terms of looking at you and the flying start that you've had. Does that put more pressure on you?
Not particularly. I mean, the good thing is I don't. Maybe the lads will see more of the outside world talking. I don't see anything. I don't. So I just stay focused on the job, the next training session, and the next game, and that's what I need to do. So it doesn't add any pressure there. And I think it's a real privilege to be where we're at. But again, recognise why that is at the moment, because the lads have worked really hard. So just let's keep that going. And then we've got some good players. So keep believing in ourselves.
And finally, the David Strelic goal against Germany. Many Borough fans have just played that over and over again. How pleased were you when you saw him score that and get an assist in that?
And the fact that he was signed and over the line by that point was really pleasing. He might have been competing with one or two others as well then for his signature, but great for him, great moment for him, a goal and an assist against a powerhouse of a nation. But he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good signing.
Good luck.
Thank you.
What's he like as a lad?
Confident. Yeah, confident. Really smiley. Really good guy. But knows who he is. Knows what he needs. Knows what he wants. And which I like. He's got an opinion. He's a good character. He's going to be a big personality, I think. And I think he'll be able to back that up with his performances.
Obviously, you've got real options in that forward area now. Can you play two of them together? Do you have the variety there to maybe mix it up and you have two of them on the pitch?
I certainly do. Yeah, I think with Callie coming in as well, I'd put Callie and David in a different players, but in similar sort of way. They can do any of those front three positions that we've been playing at the moment. And I know I've mentioned it a few times. The shape isn't necessarily the shape that will be. It's been working thus far, but I'm more than open to changing, and we might be able to introduce more attacking options onto the pitch as well to play together. So we're open to that. It's got to fit, and it's got to be the right thing for the right reasons, not just sort of like chucking everyone on and then going off you go, lads. There's got to be some thought behind it, but yeah, they certainly can play together.
The goal, I was sent it about 5 times in different WhatsApp groups in 5-10 minutes afterwards. When did you first were you watching the game live?
No, I've watched his clips and everything of the game back. I was aware of it very quickly, like you. I was getting sent stuff in quickly. Things were firing around, so yeah, it was a really special moment for him.
It's the first time we've spoken to you, obviously, since the deadline passed. How do you look back on the window as a whole?
Yeah, excellent, really. I think it's a challenging period for any head coach or manager up and down the country in every level. Because there's always going to be one or two doubts, and people can be, not conflicted, but just half an eye on what could be there. And obviously when you've got good players as well, there's going to be lots of rumours and speculation and stuff. So it's quite nice for us, I think, when it's closed and we know what we're working with and who's in the building. I think we did great. I think the recruitment team, all of the guys deserve a lot of credit. They worked really hard on it, and they set a lot of things up, and then once it gets to me, it might just be one or two conversations or a meeting to try and then get things over the line. So I think the guys deserve a lot of credit. I think we've got a really strong squad.
And Alan Brown as well. He offers an awful lot on and off the pitch, I imagine.
Yeah, he does. Someone that knows how to get out of this league very recently, but knows the level and has been a really good performer at the level for a long time. A bit like in the mould of Alfie and Callum Britton as well, when really experienced at this level, but really good at this level as well. But again, someone that we can learn from and lean on, because he's got real recent experience of getting out of the league and being at the top end of the league, which I think is beneficial for us as well.
I saw Hayden Morris say in the interview with Mark after a game that he thinks him and Hayden are the best midfield in the Championship.
Doesn't sound like Hayden.
He
wouldn't say that, would he?
But Alan strikes me as the type of character who's not come here just to sit and play second fiddle with those guys.
No, look, Brownie, I was very honest with him. We had a really good couple of conversations when around the time of him coming in, and of course he's hungry to play. But recognises and understands that there's a squad here and players that are doing well in his position. But again, it doesn't mean that all of them can't play either. We will find that right blend as we go, and I'm sure the team will evolve as we move forward as well. But no, he's not someone that's going to be keen to come around and not play as much, which is great because it keeps everyone at it. Everyone's got to be at it.
The manager of the month stuff, the curse was mentioned to you there, but actually the last 4 August winners have gone on to win promotion.
Wow.
Let's not. You won't organise the Open Top Bus 2 just yet. It just shows, doesn't it, the importance of a good start.
A good start is great. You want momentum. We all want that. So look, of course it's positive, and what more so for buy-in, for belief. I think for the supporters as well too, because they've been brilliant. They've been really good and welcomed us in, and hopefully then we're building a really good rapport. Of course, a great start is important, but it's not the be-all and end-all. And again, there's 126 points, whatever, to play for still. So there's a hell of a long way to go. I think my maths are right there, Juicy. I think you're working it out. But it's it's nice. It's good.
And that togetherness you've talked about, you talked about it when obviously you collected the award. That can be a very powerful thing, can't it?
I think it's the most important thing. You can't achieve anything on your own, not as individuals, especially in team sports. It can't happen. In individual sports now, they can have a team behind that individual anyway. We've got a whole collective, a huge group of people. It's a big football club that are working really hard to try and achieve something, and that's from everybody. The guys that come in early in the morning that are cleaning, to the amazing kitchen staff that we've got there, that are providing the food for the players, the ground staff that have got the pitches in top condition. Everybody, we're all in this together.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks. With that, Rob, obviously we spoke about the good start, the positive transfer window, and it's all kind of going towards raising expectations, from the outside. For you, has the good start, the positive transfer window, does that change your expectations, your ambitions and targets?
Outwardly, I'll be saying the same message. I'll be saying that all to you guys all season long. We just want to try and improve. We would like to score more goals. We'd like to concede less, and we'd like to win more games than we did last season. That's our aim, to try and improve, and where that takes us, we'll see. But this league is so competitive and tough that I can't get carried away after just because we've raised expectations a little bit at the moment. We've got to keep our feet on the ground and keep working really hard. I think if we work really, really hard because we've got some talent, then we could be in a good spot. But don't ever go away from showing that grit that we've been showing. That's what I like about us.
Yeah, you touched on Riley McGree there, and obviously the work that's ongoing now to ensure, or hope, when he gets back, he stays back. Was there anything in kind of, initial kind of looking at him and what the problem was? Was there any conclusions drawn on why he's had such a difficult 2 years?
You probably need to speak. I can find out more detail from the specialists, from the guys. I think with muscular issues, and there can always be sort of movement related, but also strength related. It can be a couple of reasons. So what we're trying to affect now is the strength side, the movement side, and making sure then that he's sort of strongest but most fluid, so he can go out and replicate what he's done for this football club before. Riley's a really good player, but again, what I don't want to do is put too much pressure on him now, because he's working really, really hard. And like I said, there's still 40 odd games to go, so he could still play a major role.
Yeah, I guess from the outside, we might be a bit black and white about these things, but I imagine there's so much kind of like science and data that goes into this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not just like you've got an injury and that's it, like time and massage and all that sort of stuff now, or the old magic sponge and everything. There's a lot more into it, and the players work so much harder now as well. They're so much more professional than what from my time and then before my time. A lot longer days. They'll be chucking everything at it. He'll be trying. He'll be seeking advice from everywhere and trying to do everything he can, because he's desperate to play for the club, and he loves representing the football club, and he will do. He will do. But like I said, at the moment, what we've got is some real strength in depth in those areas at the moment as well. So we're not having to push. I'm not having to push the medical team or him from. He's pushing. He's working hard, but I'm not having to put added pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned there how desperate he is to play. I mean, how is he? I imagine it is massively frustrating for him.
Yeah, I think a lot of time when I ask players how they are, they always go, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm all right." So sometimes I have to dig a little bit deeper and sit down. I caught him. I think it was early this morning or yesterday morning. Said, "Look, we need a catch up. Me and him probably get some time on Monday next week." So I said that to him either this morning or yesterday morning. Days sort of blur into one. So yeah, we'll do that, because if I ask a player, they just go, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm fine."
Just finally from me, we touched on the transfer window and a few left on deadline day. We spoke about that beforehand. But one who did stay, who hasn't kind of played that much yet, is Alex Gilbert. Can you ask about kind of his standing and why the decision, if it was a decision, was made to keep him around?
I think there was we'd had some good conversations, and we thought it might be a good idea for him to get some game time, but nothing transpired in the end. And then so he's here now, and he's got to then fight. You know, we've got a really competitive group, real high level players. So you're always going to have people that miss out. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of it. It's competitive. So work really hard, fight really hard, and then show what you're about, and try and break in. And that's obviously what he's got to try and do now.
So, Rook, just ask the same question about Micah Hamilton. He was another one who stayed around. What was the
Yeah, similar. I think Micah is someone, again, we've got some high hopes for, but it's just difficult to break into this group at the moment. So it's down. It really, in the end, we can give the opportunity in training. Maybe there's 21s games and things like that. Then it's got to be down to them to force their way in, and that could take an injury, suspension, a loss of form from other players, and then you've got to be able to capitalise on that and take a chance when it comes. The hardest part of my job is to disappoint people, and I'm doing that constantly every day, where I've got to tell people they're not playing, or they're not picked, or they're not selected. It's a horrible part of the job, but that's just the nature of it. It's competitive, and in the end I'll try and select what I think is the best group to win a game of football.